guys, it's Dana. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be something a little bit different than what I typically do. I feel like on my channel it's typically all kind of makeup related or jewelry, clothing, stuff like that. So today it's going to be more based on our skin, which I guess is pretty much still beauty, but I'm gonna go in more with like hair removal and tanning. I'm gonna try to cover all the bases just in this one video. Several of you guys have been requesting self-tanning reviews or self-tanning routine type videos, but I'm gonna cover a lot of that in this video as well, which I don't know, I probably should have self-tanned before this because I've lost most of it. But that's okay, there's a reason for that. Okay, so enough with the blabbing, let's go ahead and get into hair removal first. So obviously in the shower, I'm gonna go in and just use any sort of razor. That's one thing that I'm just really not picky about. I remember a lot of my friends being like, oh, I only use like this silk hydro or this or that. I'm not even gonna lie, I will just buy those packs of cheapo like double blade razors, or I'll just like steal packs of Keegan's that I used to buy all the time when I used to be like hardcore into couponing. I would always go out and buy like the Mach 3 Gillette, whatever razors. And I don't know, sometimes I feel like men's razors actually work better than the women's. I feel like they get a lot closer to the skin since they're designed for the face. So I'll either use cheapy razors or men razors on my legs. And I typically don't use a shaving cream. I was just never really taught to use a shaving cream. It's something I guess my mom didn't use, so I didn't bother with either. If my skin is feeling sensitive, then I will use a conditioner. But yeah, typically I just go in with a razor after my body wash. So after I go in and get all my prickles on my armpits and my legs with my manly razor, then I like to go in and do a scrub. And then this is just all over my body, not just on my legs and armpits and bikini area. So one of my favorite scrubs that I've been using for the last, I want to say 6 or 8 months, because before that I was using another brand, but within the last couple of months I've been using this one right here, and it's from Tree Hut. And I've actually mentioned this scrub several times. I think it's been in several empties videos and favorites videos as well. Because just like my cheeks, my legs and my elbows and my knees always get so dry. So I feel like this really helps kind of buff away any dry skin. Okay, and then moving on to step trace. After I buff my skin smoother than a baby's bottom, I like to go in and do some extra steps with hair removal. I know, you're probably thinking, well, didn't you already shave? Your legs should be smooth, which they are. I think that's one thing that I've gotten really lucky with, and I guess what is on my floor? Okay, sorry, distracted. That's something that I got really lucky with I guess like Asian genetics, is that my hair never really grows back like super fast, and it never really grows back super coarse. I actually didn't even start shaving my legs until my freshman year of high school, just because they were really short and blonde, so I figure like, why just do it now? I remember all my other friends were like shaving in the 5th and 6th grade, and I used to want to so bad, and my mom was like, no, don't do it, then it's gonna grow back like dark and black. So I held off until freshman year. Okay, anyways, back to the video here. So after I shave, I get out and I pat my skin dry. Now this part is important. If you are gonna use this magical product that I'm about to mention, you can't apply like a body butter or anything like that yet. I do that after this. So the product that I'm talking about, I guess I'll show you the box first, is the Remington iLight Pro Plus. And this is just a IPL system. If you guys aren't familiar with that, it's an intense pulse light system. So basically this leads you up into permanent hair removal, which I don't know, to me is amazing, because even though I don't have to shave that often, which actually I probably do now that I've gotten older, I feel like my hair has come back a little bit faster. I'm just really lazy with shaving. I'd rather spend my time like working in a hair mask or like working with the body butter or something than sitting in there and shaving my legs. It's just, I don't know, I hate doing it and it's boring. I've been using this for 7 weeks now. I was gonna put the review up sooner, but I read the manual and everything before I ever even considered putting this up, because obviously I wanted to get full-on results and a full-on review before I told you guys about it. And so here we are 7 and actually almost 8 weeks later, so I can tell you about this magical genie. So once again, this is the Remington iLight Pro Plus Professional Hair Removal Results at Home. If you guys are wondering, yes, this is pricey, but you have to take into consideration that if you got this service done at like a spa or a dermatology center, it's just as pricey there, and you're gonna need multiple treatments. So if you have this at home, you can do multiple treatments and then just pay the big bucks one time rather than going in several times before you get the results. It's okay, the box is empty because I got it right here. So this is what it looks like. As you can see, for the things that it does, I'd say it's pretty compact. So basically you just have a power cord that you plug right into the wall. If you guys are curious, I may be doing an insert right here of me doing the demonstration, but if not, I will go ahead and keep on chatting. So you wrap this around, you have the power cord that you plug into the wall, And then basically, once you turn it on, there is a little sensor right here. And what you have to do is kind of like put your skin up to the sensor. I feel like my arm's always the easiest to do. The only thing about this product is that if your skin tone is really dark, unfortunately you can't use this because it'll soak up too much of your skin tone color. It'll find like, you know, the dark skin tone, and it'll absorb too much light into the skin, which can actually darken your skin more or leave some kind of dark spots, which I don't think anyone really wants random, you know, like dark blotchy spots on your skin. Okay, so I've already plugged it in, and right here you have a power switch. So I'm gonna power that on. You get a little noise here, so it's just blinking, asking you to do the skin sensor. So I'm just gonna put my arm right on it. Okay, so it's turned green, giving me the okay, and then the fan powers on. Now I'm gonna turn mine up to 5 just because that's what I said I've been using lately. Okay, so honestly I'm not really needing the treatment right now. As you can see, my arms are pretty smooth, but just to give you guys a quick demonstration. So you're gonna grab the sensor and you're gonna put it right on your skin, and then you'll hear a chirp. Okay, so there it is. Now you push the button right here, and there's a little zap. So then I would just move downwards from there and just try to keep in a straight line. You know what, instead of me sitting here trying to describe skin tones, I have a chart right here. So basically right here it's showing you these 4 bars are okay to use, but once you get into these really darker, richer skin tones, unfortunately you can't use it, which I know is a pain, but it's a safety reason, so obviously you just want to listen to that. Another thing with this is that there is a sensor on it, so if your skin is too dark, then it's not even going to power on and allow you to use it. Like, you'd have to go find someone. So obviously that's there for a reason, so don't go in and use it if you have that really dark skin tone, just because I don't think you want to be left with like uneven blotchy skin. The first time I used it, I put it on 1 and I started it there, and I really didn't find it painful whatsoever. So then I went up to 3 and I was like, okay, well I'm curious, I want to see what 5 is. 5 honestly didn't hurt. It's just a slight pinch, like nothing even like a bee sting or a shot. It's just honestly like the lightest pinch. So then I think I got too brave and I did 5 on my armpits. I'm not gonna lie, that did hurt. So even now the highest that I go on my armpit region is a 3, just because I feel like the pinching and just your skin is more sensitive and tender there. So I feel like 3 is fine. I still have yet to use this on my bikini area just because I don't really have much of a problem there, and I don't know, I'm kind of scared. So I've really only done this on my arms and my legs. Another thing that I want to quickly mention is that this is only safe to use from neck down, just because, as I mentioned earlier, if you have darker skin tone, it can cause darkening blotches, so they just recommend not even doing it on your face. I don't know what it would do to your face, but I don't know. I like listening to the warnings. I'm not that brave when it comes to that, so I just stick to the warnings and I do it neck down. Once again, if you're not familiar with IPL technology, basically the light absorbs into your skin and it breaks down that hair root. So it's really important that before you use this, you're only shaving your hair. If you're waxing it or tweezing it, it's not going to work, because obviously if you're waxing or tweezing, it's pulling each hair follicle all the way from the root. So there's nothing for this light to break down. So you do have to use it after a razor. Okay, now moving on to my actual personal review of this little guy here. In the manual, it stated that some people saw results from the first 1 to 2 treatments. If you guys were wondering, the treatments, it said you could do it once every 2 weeks or more if you desired. So I was doing it once every week, and I would say that I honestly didn't notice a difference until the 3rd week in. So the biggest difference that I noticed was, you know, as your leg hairs are growing in, or I guess even on your arms, just because I have been using on my arms. Before this, I never shaved my arms, but I don't know, I guess I got so excited about the results on my legs that I was like, I kind of want my arms to be hairless too. The majority of my legs after 3 to 4 weeks were pretty much hairless, or just taking a lot longer to grow. However, I could see some spots where I was missing, and that's because I would notice the little black dots, you know, where the hair follicles were coming back up. So that right there told me the spots that I was missing. So I would go in and do cleaner sweeps of those areas. And then after 2 more weeks of that, so I guess 5 weeks total, I honestly haven't even seen the little black dots on my legs anymore. And another thing that I noticed, I don't know if this is just me or this will happen to everyone, is that sometimes when I apply self-tanners, I'll notice the actual like little pores where my hair come out of on my legs. Sometimes the self-tanner will absorb more into those holes. So even though your legs aren't prickly at the time, it'll kind of like give that look, just because the self-tanner will soak into those little holes, which I know sounds so gross. I feel like this lightening system has helped kind of tighten some areas like of the little pores on my legs, because I don't have that problem with the self-tanner at all anymore, which I really like, because that was kind of making me not like self-tanner so much more, because if your legs are smooth, you don't want them to look like that they're prickly just because of self-tanners. So if any of you guys are interested in the Remington iLight Pro Plus, I will have the link linked down below for you guys. I really think it's something to check into. I kind of wish I would have mentioned it earlier in the summertime just because since that's when we really wear shorts and swimsuits, but I really wanted to make sure that I tested it out for the 7 weeks before I said anything about it, just because, you know, what if I tried it for 3 weeks and I was like, oh, this is great, and then put it up and then the results weren't actually true and accurate. This is 7 weeks of consistent use once every week, so 7 treatments so far, and I've honestly been loving it. Another thing that I want to quickly mention is, I don't even want to show them just because there's people with weird fetishes online, but if you're someone that kind of has like darker skin on their underpits, armpits, which is something that I had an issue with, and I think it's just because being kind of like olivey skin toned, I don't know, sometimes my armpits were a little bit darker on spots, which I know is not that attractive. I've noticed a big difference after using this. After the 3 or actually maybe 4 weeks on my armpits of using this, I noticed a dramatic difference in the skin tone under my armpits, which to me totally paid it off because I was trying so many things like scrubs and everything just because I hated that my armpit area was slightly darker than the rest of my arm. Like if I lifted it up, you could see that it was like a little bit darker right there, and I hated that. I've honestly noticed a huge difference. I'm not gonna say that it's like completely white now because it's still not, but I feel like if I did use this once or twice more, maybe later down the road, just because my armpits, honestly guys, are pretty darn smooth. I haven't shaved them in a while. I've just been using that. They've lightened dramatically. So yeah, I feel like that's another total perk of it if you're someone like me who has a dark armpits. Okay, so now after that, what I like to do is take a body buffing brush. I got this one from the Body Shop. I was looking one for such a long time and I picked one up at Target, but the bristles were, to me, felt too coarse to where it kind of like, I don't want to say ripped because that sounds awful, but it was just too coarse on my skin and I felt like it kind of buffed too much. So this one I got from the Body Shop. As you can see, the bristles are still kind of stiff, but at the same time, they're not like coarse, like they still move around. So what I like to do with this is just go through and just buff my body, my entire body. This is supposed to help make your skin more radiant. It says that it helps like remove or disperse toxins. I don't know how true that is, but I can't lie. The main reason I got this for is because I've heard so many people say that this can help with cellulite, which like many other ladies out there, I have a problem with. And I will say I have noticed a little bit of a difference, nothing dramatic unfortunately, but still a little bit of a difference counts, right? So what I'll do is just go through and buff my body. Sometimes I'll do this before my shower, a lot of the times though it's after. So sometimes I'll do it before, but what I like to do even more is apply some body butter. This one is another product from the Body Shop. It's the Satsuma body butter. This one is actually one of my favorites. It's definitely more of a spring summer scent just because it's super citrusy and fruity, but I'm just gonna wait till I finish this whole thing. So I like to use some kind of body butter that's really rich, either this, I have this one here from the brand Prestige as well. This is the Creme de la Creme and Sweet Orange Mango Papaya. This thing smells amazing as well. So any kind of really rich, thick body butter you have around, I like to slather that on my skin and then go in with this brush and just really buff it in. That way I feel like it helps the body butter really absorb into my skin, and I really do notice a difference. I feel like my legs really shine, my arms look healthy and glowy, so that is another favorite. Now, on a different day, obviously I wouldn't do this on the same day, days that I do self-tanning, some of my favorites, I think I forgot one. That's okay, these two are more of my bigger favorites. So a newer self-tanner that I discovered recently is the Fake Bake Intense Golden Bronze Extreme. If you guys have been watching me for a while, then you know before this one I was using the Fake Bake Flawless. This one is supposed to be the extreme version, so I wanted to give this one a try. This is just the darkest self-tanning gel, streak-free, easy application. I love this stuff. The only thing about this is I like to apply it at night and then rinse myself off in the morning, because this one has a strong self-tanning scent, which I don't know anyone in the world who actually enjoys that smell. So that's the only downside to this. So I never do this, and I don't have any issues of it transferring on my sheets or anything like that. Like most other gel tanners out there, it's like an intense dark brown color, but it's just a really easy streak-free application. I love it, and I feel like it's instant results. I really like using self-tanners like this that you can see while you're applying, that way you know you're not missing any spots. Now my other favorite self-tanner is from Million Dollar Tan, which this one gets raved about a ton on YouTube, and there is a reason for it. It's just because it's a really good self-tanner. This one I actually grabbed the wrong one. Okay, it's right up there. This is the Tan Icon, which is kind of like the regular version. I actually like the Tan Icon Extreme. It might be Cabana Tan Extreme. I don't know, I can't read it from here. This is a smaller bottle, but even the smaller bottle lasts you forever. This is an amazing self-tanner. One thing that I absolutely love about this is that it actually has a nice scent. To me, it kind of smells like a warm vanilla, sugary type smell. It does not smell like self-tanner at all. So this one I feel like I can apply in the morning, but if you don't rinse off within 24 hours, for whatever reason, the second day the self-tanning smell comes, which is weird to me. But the first day you don't smell it at all. So if I'm wanting to self-tan in the mornings, this is the one that I'll use. So if you're someone who's really fair skin, I would recommend the Tan Icon. But if you're someone who has more to like medium olive or deeper skin, I would use the Extreme Tan Icon. There's a big difference between the two. One other thing that I've noticed with this tanner is that a lot of the times the first day I won't get the results I want, but then the second and third day it really intensifies. So I'm guessing that's why you get the scent on the second to third days. I'm not sure, but both of those, if you're into self-tanners, I would highly recommend them. I have yet to try out the Saint Tropez tanner, which I know everyone and their mother raves about, so I think I may be trying that one next. So if you guys use that one, let me know if there's a big difference between just the regular one or the ultra dark Saint Tropez, because I know there's two versions, and I've read like better reviews about the regular one, so I don't know how that works. So if you guys are familiar with that product, leave a comment down below and let me know. But I think that pretty much covers this video, and just a few of my favorite hair removal, self-tanning, body butter basics slash essentials. But if you guys have any other questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. You can also always find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, same thing everywhere, lollydolly128, keeping it easy for you and me. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!